Hi, welcome to the DIY Photo Organising Podcast. I'm Fiona from Photo Helper.
And I'm Chantal from Simply in Order Photo Organising. Imagine you can find any photo at any time at the click of a button. We are here to show you how.
So let's get started. All right, wonderful. Welcome back to another DIY Photo Organising Podcast. It's lovely to have you all listening in. Hi, Chantal. How are you?
Hi, Fiona. I'm good. How are you?
Good. All right, now in this episode, we are excited to unpack some mysteries behind Amazon photos. So this episode is really going to hopefully give you all an overview, give you some detail, but just really navigate around some of these big iconic sort of options for people when it comes to managing their photos. And today we are going through understanding the Amazon photo world. So let's dive right in. And Chantal has done some fantastic research on this. We're both Mac phone users, iPhone users, and so this is something that we just thought was really useful because it's an option that people could use across both or any smartphone, and so we're going to go through a few different things about what Amazon offer, what some of the differences are between Amazon Photos and what is Amazon Drive, some of the benefits of Amazon Photos, and also what to be mindful of, and just go through a few frequently asked questions and things like that. So Chantal, let's jump right in. If you would be so kind as to help explain, first of all, what is Amazon Photos?
Right, okay. So Amazon Photos, what they are, is a photo sharing and storage service, obviously developed by Amazon. And to start with, we're really talking about Amazon Photos because that's a separate thing from Amazon Drive.
Uh-huh.
So Amazon Photos can be used to back up photos from your not only from your phone, but for photos in general. And it can also be used to synchronize.
Okay.
So to add some sort of automation, really. And it is a free service, obviously limited in size. You're not getting a lot for free, really. And you can, of course, pay if you need more storage. Now, there is an interesting thing that Australians get a different package than others, mainly talking the US and also UK and a few other countries. They have different conditions, terms and conditions.
Yep.
So we'll look into that a bit more when we come to more details, how it really works.
Okay.
And so this is Amazon Photos, and as the word says, it's all about photos, but we also have Amazon Drive. Have you used that at all?
No, I haven't used that because I'm mainly Mac. It sort of covers my world as far as syncing and sharing and storing. But it sounds like I was just about to use the analogy of the Google Drive and Google Photos.
Yes, yeah.
Similar thing?
It's very similar. Yes, it's very similar.
Yep.
And as you, I'm using the Apple ecosystem, but I had signed up with Amazon Drive to try it out a few months ago. And look, it worked fine. So what the Drive is, Amazon Drive, you can really compare that maybe to, it's a bit like Dropbox, or maybe, OneDrive, or as you just mentioned, Google Drive. It's very, very similar. You can pretty much do the same thing with all these things. So it's basically the cloud drive
Right.
where everything sits. So Amazon Photo is part of Amazon Drive. So that's where these photos sit.
Okay. Yep.
However, look, to be honest, even, I consider myself as, quite tech savvy in the meantime,
Yep.
but it does my head in, to be honest. It doesn't seem straightforward, and sometimes I'm like, no wonder our clients get confused, because
Yeah.
even for us, it sometimes seems complicated.
And the
So
settings, I think, too, even just to understand
yeah,
the overall concept of what's possible with some of these
yes,
syncing and
yeah,
backup
yeah,
type services.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then they behave very differently depending on just one or
yes,
two settings, and if it's an automatic
yeah,
upload, and if,
yeah,
turn on the deletion, if you turn
mhm,
on or off different, obviously,
yeah.
toggle different
And
options.
that's exactly it. I kind of came to the conclusion, like, in general, it's all in the settings, and it
Yes.
can go really badly wrong if
Yeah.
you're using the wrong settings. So with Amazon Drive, that can actually act as a backup. You can link a folder or several folders on your computer to Amazon Drive,
Yeah.
and it will automatically then back up the content of these folders to Amazon Drive, to the cloud.
Okay.
Um, and this is a backup, so again, with the right settings, it only sends you data up to the cloud. So let's say you would delete your cloud, nothing's going to happen, because it doesn't talk back, it doesn't come back down. So it's a one-way street.
You delete the
Again,
file, you mean?
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So if you delete then a file in Amazon Drive, and you've set it up in a way that it's a backup and not a syncing
Yes.
system, then nothing will happen. The file will still be on your computer, but not in the cloud. However, you can use that very same feature, and with a, basically tick of a box,
Ah.
it will synchronize and not back up, which means when you do delete stuff in the cloud, it will also be deleted on your computer.
Oh, okay.
So that's where, I would say, just really be always careful before you tick any box,
Yeah.
and double check what you're actually doing, and find out a bit more about it if you're not sure. So,
And I think
and
that sort of would then, if people are aware of what they're trying to achieve,
yes,
we've
yeah,
got the, different
mm,
episodes on backup and syncing, and backup in general, that we've, got back right back to our golden rules.
yeah,
Um, but I think that's fundamentally is the idea of what are you trying to achieve first? Like, think about that
hmm,
when you're looking at your photos, and when people are looking at an option to, ongoing to manage their photos. What do I want to do? Primarily, is this going to be
mm,
used just so I can share and sync with others,
yeah,
or to store? I'm looking really at a backup storage system. And so
mm,
all of those things, I think when you're looking at, and reviewing this, you obviously clicked on to listen to our podcast for a reason about understanding Amazon Photos.
mm,
As we're talking through, maybe if people just have sort of a think about what they're really wanting to do. So when they look through settings and look at this option, they might be able to get,
yes,
it might be the best option for them. But
mm,
yeah, just thinking about what their end result is going to be
yeah,
with these options.
yeah. And what I've just mentioned about the Amazon Drive, that was actually more for other files, not so much the photos. It can, of course, be for the photos, but we'll have a bit of a closer look now, how this is relevant for the photos.
Fantastic.
So, one good thing, of course, let's talk about the good things, the
Yes,
benefits
the
of using
benefits.
Amazon, whether that's Amazon Photos or Amazon Drive, because it goes really hand in hand.
Yep.
So, one great thing, of course, is that, as so many other apps as well have the same thing, they you've got an automatic camera upload. So when you take photos on your phone, it will be automatically uploaded to Amazon Photos. One thing to be mindful of, though, it only happens when you actually open the Amazon Photos app. It's not going to happen in the background. So Dropbox does exactly the same thing.
Yep.
And it needs to be opened in order to be uploaded. And the good thing is, if you're someone who constantly runs out of storage space on your phone, this is a good option. So you can upload your photos to Amazon Photos, and then you can delete them off your phone, because, again, it's not a synchronizing system.
Right.
It's a backing up. So it sends them up, but once they're up, the two don't talk together anymore. It only uploads the new photos if you add more photos.
Okay.
But then you
People
could,
think that they're doing organising then on their phone, and they
yes,
put
yeah,
things into folders, or they do,
yeah,
a clean up and delete,
mm-hmm,
a range of photos and keep their favourites. That's
yeah.
not going to be
No,
reflected in the Amazon Photos.
no, it's not. No, it really uploads the camera roll. So any organising or whatever you do on your phone app on your phone, if you've got an iPhone, that would be photos. So anything you do in there, it's not going to be reflected. Yeah,
Yep.
that's correct.
Okay.
It's completely independent.
Yeah, which again
Yeah,
is a benefit if that's what the people are looking
yeah,
for.
yeah,
That's a great benefit of something like that.
yeah. One good thing, of course, is that you can link more than one device to Amazon Photos. So this can be an advantage if you, let's say, you're a family of four,
Yep.
and you all want to use the same the same photo library. So you could all use the same account and just send your phone photos up there, and then everyone can see the same things through your through Amazon Photos app.
Okay.
That can be a benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as I mentioned before, it's free for up to 5 GB, so everybody can use that. And then they say for Amazon Prime members,
Mm-hmm.
they say it's free to use Amazon Photos. Of course, it's not really free because you're paying a fee to be a
Right.
Prime member.
Yep.
Plus,
Different benefits.
so and then when you're a Prime member and get Amazon Photos with that package, you can upload unlimited number and size of photos, but only 5 GB of video.
Mm-hmm.
But you can buy more, of course.
Yep.
Now, this is very important for our Australian listeners. This doesn't apply to them because they can now become Prime members. However, in this package, if you're in Australia, this doesn't include getting Amazon Photos for free. So what you have to do, whether you're a Prime member or not, you can buy storage individually. So you just simply buy storage from Amazon Photos. You can, the last time I checked, 100 GB storage would cost 25 Australian dollars for a year, which sounds quite reasonable, I think.
Yeah.
And that's actually what I've tried out. I had bought some space and uploaded a bit and played around a bit with it. So yeah, that's how I tested it, and that works fine. Don't ask me why they differentiate between countries and why some are Prime members and get more stuff than others. No idea what's behind that,
Yeah.
but that's just the way it is. So
poor Australians have to miss out.
We always last.
I know.
That's what happens when you live at the end of the world, sort of thing. It's like they forget us.
All the top.
On the top, yeah. Well, being from Switzerland, I couldn't have moved much further away than.
No, that's true. The other side of the world. That's right.
Yeah. Oh well. So what is also good about Amazon Photos, it does a full resolution upload. So it doesn't compress your files. They stay in original size. This is really good.
And what about, just asking, because you've tried this out too, what about downloading them once you'd log in to the
Yeah.
to a website for your Amazon Photos website,
Mhm.
and then just you can download them easily, the full resolution.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. And yeah, another thing that they offer is called the Family Vault. So that's for Prime members only as well. So again, check depending on where you are located, check what is included in your Prime membership.
Hmm.
So what this is like a shared family photo archive, and up to 6 people can be part of that archive,
Hmm.
and so they can share the storage space as well. So that's a good thing for families to check out, whether that might be a good option or a good feature for you. Yeah,
Very good.
and again, this is an advantage for Prime members only. They can actually search for categories. It's very similar to Google or the iCloud, with these categories where you can just search for dogs or beach and
Mm.
then all these photos pop up.
Yep.
Or keywords, location, and more. So again, this is for Prime members. Have a real good look if you want to sign up. Not that you're disappointed
Yep.
that you're not getting these features.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can, again, similar to other apps too, you can have collaborative and shared albums. So with friends and family, that's always cool. For example, when you go on a holiday with another family and you can share albums, that's a good way. And another thing that I really like, very similar again to Dropbox, when you upload your camera roll
Yep.
to Amazon Photos, it actually renames the photos and it uses year, month, day, and then the timestamp.
Okay.
And it adds some sort of number. I wasn't able to find that. It's not the original file number. It's not a sequential number. I'm not sure where that number comes from, but it adds some sort of number behind the date.
Oh, okay. After the date.
And
Yep.
so that happens when you use the automatic camera upload, and I actually quite like that. That they're
And why
being
is that?
renamed using the timestamp.
Why would you say you like that feature?
Personally, I like it because I'm someone who sorts things chronologically,
Yep.
and when the date is in the file name,
Mm.
first of all, the chronological sorting then happens automatically when you've got the date backwards, so starting with the year, months.
Hmm.
That's one, and the other is also, I think, um, the file name is not something that gets easily lost when you move these files to a different place.
Yes.
And sometimes this can happen that when you move files that they lose their original capture date.
Yes.
And then, it's real nuisance to find out, oh, when was this
Yeah.
photo taken?
Mm.
So whenever the date is part of the file name, I really like that for that reason because it's hard to lose that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's good, and it's got some meaning to it rather than just
Yeah.
a random. If
Yeah.
digital camera photos and things like that really don't
Yeah.
feed into other programs easily with being able
Hmm.
to.
And it's a unique number,
Mm.
especially because it goes down to the second with the timestamp.
Yeah.
You don't run the risk because when you take photos on any camera really, but you will probably have noticed on your phone when you take lots of photos, once you reach 1,000, it will start counting again from 0001.
Yep.
And when you keep them all, you will eventually have like 3 files with the same
Oh,
name.
absolutely. I
You
find that a
know?
lot with clients.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it gets confusing.
Yeah, and it has happened to me or to clients of mine in the past that they then thought, "Oh, that's a duplicate. I'll just delete it."
I know.
But it wasn't
But it
actually a
wasn't.
duplicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just had the same file name.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's another reason why I like that, because it's the uniqueness too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So what happens if you delete a photo?
Mm.
Obviously, we were saying if you delete a photo on your phone,
Mm-hmm.
and you've already opened up your Amazon app on your phone, which means
Mm-hmm.
that the upload has happened.
Yes.
So then you can delete the photo on your phone.
Yeah.
Um, can you then clean up photos on Amazon Photos in another way? The ones that have been
Yes.
uploaded, you
Yes.
can just go
Yeah.
into that
Yeah.
website then.
Yeah. So if you want to do that on your phone, you just go into the app, and you work from in there,
From
or
inside the app on.
from inside the app, or you can access them through your browser
Yep.
on your computer if you need a bit, a bigger picture. And within, I was going to say Apple Photos, within Amazon Photos in the app, you can create albums and fun stuff.
Okay.
So you can do that in your app. And where this is one case where the drive also comes in. So let's say you upload your photos from the phone, they're in Amazon Photos, you delete them off your phone
Off your
and
camera roll.
off your camera roll,
Yeah.
but you then have them in the cloud in Amazon Photos, and that's connected to your Amazon Drive. So when you then delete a photo from your Amazon Photos app,
Mm-hmm.
you can retrieve that within the next 30 days. Again, it's very similar to Dropbox,
Okay.
where you can restore files if you don't wait too long.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, that's that part also. And a big advantage is that Amazon Photos works on any phone. So
Yeah.
if you've got an iPhone or an Android, whatever, you can use Amazon Photos. And the big advantage that they have is that they also have a desktop app. And
Okay.
Google Photos,
Unlike
for
the Google
example,
Photos.
yeah,
Yep.
they don't have that. So that can be an advantage,
Mm-hmm.
because for a lot of people, they find it easier to work on a bigger screen, me included. I don't like to do,
Yeah, all the
yeah,
organising on the phone.
yeah,
Yeah.
not too much. So
The option.
um, if you're an Amazon person all the way through, you have integrated service like into all Amazon Fire TV devices or Fire tablets. That's all integrated.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you've got that ecosystem going. Another advantage compared to Google Photos, Amazon Photos lets you upload raw photo files,
Okay.
um, which might not, if your photos are mainly done with a phone, that's not going to be relevant. But
So
you
you're
can,
saying, so sorry, Chantal, you're saying here
yeah,
that you could be logged into the Amazon Photos on your
mm-hmm,
computer
yeah,
and then
yep,
do an upload through, say,
mm-hmm,
a digital camera that you've
yes,
used.
mm-hmm,
And then would that be reflected then on your phone? So when you open the
yes,
app up, yep,
yes,
you can see
yeah,
that on there.
yeah,
Okay, yep,
yeah,
fantastic.
exactly, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's great.
And that can be of advantage when you use, the good camera and shoot in RAW. So,
Yeah, and
and again,
just
it
bearing
doesn't.
in mind that they're large files for people.
A large files, yes, but it doesn't. And again, it doesn't compress them. You've got full resolution. You've got unlimited space, or you have to buy more space.
Hmm.
But for example, you can buy 1 terabyte of space for 125 Australian dollars a year. 1 terabyte is big.
It's a lot, yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah.
So, yeah,
It's a lot.
yeah. And another cool thing that Amazon Photos offers, um, they also have products like photo books and marks and calendars and more, that these photo gift ideas
Yep.
that you can directly do and use Amazon things so it offers a bit more than others do. That can be a benefit if you like to do things like that, and check
Fantastic.
that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, you can share your photos as you can with any other app too, through links or emails. You can post them social media and what have you, and you can edit as well.
Good.
Yeah, and one thing that I've tested, but not in depth really, but it seems that metadata is it sticks to the file. The way I mean that, so metadata, if you remember from previous episodes, that's information about the photos. So, for example, keywords or locations.
Yep.
So, especially if we upload photos from our computer into Amazon Photos, and we would previously have added keywords or what have you,
Yep.
it seems like they stay with the file,
Okay.
and that's not a given. Some apps, they strip the files from that metadata or
Yeah.
from some of the metadata. So this is definitely
When
worth,
you when
especially,
you
yeah,
when you export them out.
yes,
Yep.
yeah.
Mm.
So it's worth to try that out. If you're someone who uses metadata and has added metadata, try it out. Upload files, check whether it's all still there, and download it again just to find out how it really works. Also, look, the thing is that if you listen to that episode in 6 months' time after the recording, things might already have changed
I know,
again.
that's
They
true.
most probably will have. So it's always, don't take our word for it. You have to do your own research and
Yeah,
find
I
out
think
what's
if
important for
anything,
you.
it's just helping
Yeah,
people be aware of
yeah,
what to look for, because these
yeah,
they do change very, very
yeah.
quickly. And unfortunately, it is the industry that we're in, as far as the
Mm,
photos, electronically, with these digital photos, they just change. Yeah, the
mm,
features change. And that's why I think it's really good to bring this awareness to people when they're, if someone is listening back after, some time of this, going live,
yeah.
just to really look at those details, because it's, photo organizing. If you've got say you've got a 30,000 collection of photos, and you've gone to such an effort with all of this keywording, and then, or
Mm,
organizing in different ways, then and then for whatever reason they've increased prices, or you've got a different phone, or you're wanting to move to a different
mm,
program, you've lost all that work. And so, as photo organizers, it's really important that you're aware of what those options are, going in.
mm,
And
yeah.
obviously, either organizing within a program like this or outside of a program, there's benefits and pros and cons to
Mm,
a whole range of stuff. But
yeah.
just to be aware that metadata, it takes a lot of work, and it's fantastic once it's done. It
Mm,
really can be beneficial, but yeah, just to be aware
yeah. Yeah.
of whether or not that sticks, as we're talking about. But it's
Mm,
embedded in the photo. Yeah.
yeah.
So what
So that, yeah.
Yeah, so I was just going to say. So, what are some of the things to look out for? I mean, definitely, obviously, the small print.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, which does anyone really read that? I don't.
No.
I think they just hit accept and on they go. um, but yeah, what are some of the other things that you would say would be important for people?
Yeah. Look, one thing that I noticed when I read about it and how is Amazon, advertising or encouraging people to use their app, uh, they do advertise it, or they encourage users to use Amazon Photos as a hub, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And because they also say, move everything to that one safe place.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that
Mm.
because I believe that our photo hubs should not be in the cloud.
Hmm.
Like the master files, they shouldn't be in the cloud. Amazon Photos works great, but I wouldn't use it as your where everything is stored. I would use it to either as a backup or to have all my photos available on the phone. But I would never move everything into that Amazon Photos cloud.
Okay.
That's something I would advise against, because it's not, as you just mentioned, we don't have any control over it.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
and you don't want to do all that work. It's got its place, but not as a hub, in
And I
my
mean,
view.
I think when we've talked about um, Apple Photos,
Mhm.
and we've talked about uploading everything into there, we're also saying to back up that
Yes.
independently of the cloud, and so
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about as a backup. So
Mm.
in this Amazon photo sort of world and that ecosystem about using that as a hub, then you really, the only way that you personally can do that yourself is to
Mm.
then download them all and then put them onto an
Yeah.
external storage device, either your computer or a drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if they're deleted off that for whatever reason, Amazon
Mm.
Photos just doesn't exist anymore,
Yeah.
you haven't lost everything. So that's
Yeah.
why we're so particular about
Mm.
really being aware. If you're going to use that as a hub, really don't use that as a primary source, as a backup. You
Yeah.
have that somewhere offsite that's outside of that
Mm.
program,
Yeah.
because the risk is too great that something could happen and they've just gone.
Yes. Yeah. And look, it's again, and that's why sometimes it seems to be a bit complicated. What you can do is you could use Amazon Photos to collect all your photos.
Hmm.
To start with, when you're at the gathering stage, yes, you could throw them all into Amazon Photos as a hub, because when you then go over to your Amazon Drive, in your Amazon Drive, you will have a folder called Pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And then within that, for example, you would have all these photos that you've uploaded. And because you can synchronize that picture folder down to your computer,
Then you can save.
then you would have it again and save it. And if you want to cut the cord there, and that might be a way to do it.
Mm,
So you can play around with these sorts of things, but yeah, don't, yeah, as you just said, it's just not,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
And that's what we're saying. If you're going to use it as a hub,
Mm.
make sure that that step is in your process
Yes,
flow to
yeah,
back up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Good.
So, as I mentioned before, the app needs to be open when you upload new photos from
Mhm.
your phone, from the camera roll. Otherwise, it's not going to upload. And obviously, you need internet connection. I think there is actually an option you can tick on or off whether you want to upload if you're not on a internet connection.
Okay.
I think you have the option there, but I'm not quite sure now. So, but you'll find out.
Yeah.
Um, one thing that came to mind, what you just mentioned before, Fiona. So when you upload a phone photo from the camera roll, it's in your Amazon Photos, and then you delete, not delete, you edit it. You edit that photo on your camera roll after it has already been uploaded. It will not back up these edits to Amazon Photos.
Hmm.
So once it's up, it's up. It's not going to recognize that, oh, there's the edited version, and upload that again. You will lose these edits.
Yep.
Or you have to do them before you upload.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, yeah, not a lot of people probably edit their photos
Yeah.
actually. So it's not a big issue. Another one, though, that I think is important to be aware of, as we mentioned before, in Amazon Photos, you can create fun stuff and albums and all that stuff. This is not reflected in your Amazon Drive.
Okay.
Yes, you can see your photos, but they are not organized. So any organizing efforts you do within Amazon Photos, they are not going to be reflected anywhere else.
Okay.
And I think that's important to know, because you
Definitely.
don't want to spend all that time building a structure and organizing and making albums and stuff, and then, you know, thinking you can export it all like that, but it's not going to happen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not reflected.
All right.
Yeah.
But you can, it's just for then, for the purpose of while you're in that program.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again,
Yeah.
that's just it's just, it's a red flag for me
Yes.
as an
Yes.
organizer
Yeah.
that, when someone's looking at organizing their own photos,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to have to do it more than once because it's a huge job.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
Mm.
Yeah. And then
So it's either using as a viewing or an
yes.
organizing, and
Yeah.
so just,
Yes.
yeah, to be
Yeah.
aware of the two.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing to be aware of, when you delete a photo in Amazon Photos, it will also, of course, be removed from any albums that you have created in Amazon Photos, and also from Amazon Drive.
Okay.
So these two talk.
Yep.
And it's the same. You delete it in Amazon Drive, it's going to be gone in Amazon Photos. And I've tested it out. It disappears straight away, immediately. However, it, again, like Dropbox, you can get it back within 30 days.
Okay.
But it's something to be aware of, that it is actually synchronizing. It's going two ways. And when it's gone, it's gone.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean,
From
if you're
everywhere.
if you're
Yeah.
cleaning up photos and
Yeah.
wanting to get rid
Yeah.
of, a series shot or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
then that's good.
Yeah. But I've seen that people sometimes struggles with the albums,
Okay.
because
In
they
what
might
way?
think,
What do you
oh, I just had that question the other day from somebody. I don't want that photo in my, the view where you see all the photos chronologically. I've added the photo to an album. Can I now delete it in the other
mean?
place?
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, no, 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 because that's like,
Just
that's the
referencing.
camera roll is you,
Yeah.
like the master file
Hmm.
that links to the one in the album. And when you delete that up there, it will be gone in the album as well.
Yeah.
So that can be, yeah. So
One.
it's good to be aware of.
Yeah.
Um, most, the most common formats, they are recognized by Amazon Photos, but some are not. For example, bursts. So if you've got an iPhone and you've got boosts, it will not upload all the boosts, all the photos from that one boost, but it will only upload the first photo.
Okay. That's good to
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Fantastic.
And also, what was I going to mention? Ah, yes. When you use Amazon Photos and you've got the drive, so that counts that counts against your storage. When you use 50 gigabytes of space for your photos, that will take away 50 gigabytes on your drive, on your Amazon Drive.
Right. So it's
And
not it's a
yeah,
non-added to, it's an inclusive
no, yeah, yeah,
count.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I had mentioned that family vault before, where up to 6 people can be member of. However, you can only be member of one family vault. You can't be
In
sitting in 3 different ones. You can
Okay.
only be in one.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
And look again, what you mentioned before. Read the small print. As far as I could find out, Amazon does data mining as well. That's how they make money. They, kind of watch what you're doing, and then they send you ads that
Mm.
they think you might be interested
Yeah.
in. That's just how it works. It's the same with Google. That's how they operate. It's not to say that, don't ever use these services. It's just something to be mindful of.
Yeah.
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 Fantastic. That's wonderful. I think that's a really good, hopefully people have got some really good use out of that. And I think we've gone through some of these
Mm.
questions just as far as sort of, well, what happens when you no longer pay for the service? Like if you've been paying and then you decide, oh, no,
Yeah.
look, I don't want to continue on with this expense. What happens then?
Yeah, I've tested that out. And I was very interested to see how that works. So they actually really, really good about that. So first of all, they would, send you reminders that your Amazon Photo subscription will expire, and please click here or whatever to make sure that you pay again, or save your credit card number so it all happens automatically. So they give you several warnings, and then they also give you the information that if you don't want to use or continue to pay, you have time to download all your photos before they delete your account.
Yep.
Or not the account. I still have my account, so I did actually do that and didn't react. And they then say, your Amazon Photos paid subscription has expired more than so and so many days ago, and you now have so many
Go
days
back
to
to that
download it. And so they send you quite a lot of reminders,
Yep.
and they instruct you how you can download your files. So I found they did that really, really well and very transparent, and yeah.
That's good.
And then after a certain amount of time, which was actually quite, looking at my notes here, it was 150 days before they removed the photos from my storage, and it went back into the free 5 GB storage that
Right.
everyone has.
Yes.
But it took them 150 days, which I found that's quite reasonable.
Yeah.
That's almost 6
Plenty of
months.
time. Yep. Plenty of
Yeah,
time to
yeah,
take action.
yeah, yeah. That
And
should be enough
not just going to
time.
strip them out. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So
Oh,
they're not just deleting. You do have enough time to
yeah.
fix it. Yeah, yeah.
So I think that that's really got hopefully a good overview of what Amazon Photos is.
Hmm.
And because you're the Mac ecosystem world for you, is it something
Mm.
that is fairly easy to use? And
It is, yeah,
yep,
yeah,
yeah,
it
because
is.
I
Look,
know that with the
yeah,
Mac it is, with all the Mac stuff too.
mm.
But yeah, fairly intuitive to navigate around.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
wonderful.
Look, and the pricing is probably not too bad. Of course, you make yourself dependent. Um, but yeah, the other question is, when do we not do that anymore? It's
Yeah, well,
just,
that's true.
you know,
Yeah. And you've got to look at them, the ease of being able to
yeah,
look at them and share them,
yeah,
and all those great
yes,
features that they have.
yeah. And I really like that it works on all devices.
Mm,
That's, I think, a big plus.
mm.
Mm.
And across families too, which
Yeah,
makes that
yeah,
process
yeah,
a smooth
yeah.
one. Wonderful.
Mm.
Well, thank you for doing all that research, Chantal. That's great. Really appreciate
Pleasure.
it.
That was a long episode.
It was. It
So
was.
if you listeners are still
Get on
here,
the end.
good on you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, go treat yourself. That's wonderful. Well, thanks so much. And look, as always, just look at the fine print, test out some of
Yeah.
the things before you go through all of the effort of, making a choice with something like this, because, it really is, once you've found the right system that's working for you, and you've got a process that you can step through, each week or each month, as far as doing your backups,
Mm.
doing your keywording and all those types of things. And this is definitely an option possibly for people if they want to go into the world of Amazon.
Mm.
Fantastic. Well, thanks again, Chantal. Thanks for listening, everyone. And we will look forward to seeing you on another DIY photo organising podcast.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you. We hope you have enjoyed this episode of DIY photo organising and found some inspiration, useful tips and strategies to support your photo projects.
We'd love to invite you to pop over to our Facebook page, DIY Photo Organising, and we welcome your questions, feedback, and any future topics that you'd like us to cover. If there is someone you'd love to share this with, please click on Share to help others take control of their photos too. Remember, have a look through our show notes for links to helpful information. I'm Fiona from Photo Helper.
And I'm Chantal from Simply in Order Photo Organising. And remember, we believe in you and you can do this.